Because you cannot treat or deal with addiction issues, with mental health issues, job skills issues. You can't deal with workforce training, child care issues, if you're getting kicked out on the street from a shelter in the morning and you need to come back in at night. We will never stop that, but that's the cycle that we're caught in. And when we do housing first, it is half the cost of putting somebody up in a hotel. So we are spending a lot of money putting people in hotels when I think we should be doing something that's a lot more just to make sure that we're helping give them the supports. It's not just better for them and the family, it actually costs the city less. It costs you, the taxpayer, less to do that. So I think there's savings to be found by looking at programs like that. That's where I certainly will be looking. We can talk all day long about efficiencies in government, and we'll keep working for those things. But there will be some choices, and I don't know what those choices are going to be yet. That's part of the process the council and the mayor go through. Part of that's a negotiation, part of that's a bit of a tussle. But I think that we're going to go into that with good relationships, and I think the council's in great shape right now. I'm optimistic and excited about our new mayor. I think that we're all headed in the right direction. We're going to work it out. We're going to fight along the way, but that's part of the job. We're not supposed to just be arm in arm all the time. But that natural tension is a good thing, and the budget will be one of those places where that plays out. But I think that we're going to solve it. We need to hear from you. As we hear our oversight hearings and our budget hearings, we need you guys not to be shy. If you can come down and testify at the council, please do. Tell us what the priorities are. If you just want to shoot me an email, give my office a phone call, and tell me what your priorities are, I welcome that too. It's a great way for us to make sure we're always hearing what our constituents and our neighbors are trying to tell us. So I appreciate that.
But the grant thing, I mean.
I'm sorry, sir, I'm afraid we're gonna have to move on just for right now. Council member, perhaps you can speak to this gentleman. We appreciate and really am grateful that you came this evening to give us a good insight as to what you believe in and what we are all working towards.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We'd like to have you back on a regular basis,
Would love
maybe
to.
every quarter or so, to kind of keep us posted.
I'd
But
love to.
we'll get in touch with you and
All right.
work something out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next on the agenda, we have Frank Maduro, and Frank is the representative, the Ward 6 liaison from Mayor Bowser's office. And I have to tell you, I met this young man just around the beginning of the year when we had that first little snow. And his office called me and said, "Commissioner, are you happy that the roads have been cleared?" I was stunned. I couldn't believe someone actually called me and asked me that. It was just the greatest feeling to know that under our new mayor, we have people who actually care. And he's called me numerous times since then, and finally putting a name and a face together. Frank, welcome, and please share some information with us.
Thank you so much, Chair and Commissioners here. I'm sure that you guys work very hard for the community, so we just want to be there to support you. And we're going to continue engaging you and engaging the community to make sure that we're addressing all of your concerns. I want to say that you probably heard about the open house that the mayor had this past Monday. Well, I was advertising it, I was marketing it, and I told anyone in the community about it. And I want to just let you know that it was an amazing success. We had about 1,000 people that came to the Wilson building on Monday. So we're going to continue doing this because we want to make sure that we are engaging you, and we want to make sure that we are resolving issues that matter to you in the community. I have some information because the mayor is very interested in listening to what you need in the community. And she, instead of developing a budget and then coming to you about what matters to you, she's doing it the other way around. She's going to be listening to every member and every commissioner in the community to make sure that the budget has things that matter to you most. We are doing a budget town hall, and this is going to be at Dunbar High School. It's going to be Monday, February the 23rd, and that's going to be at 101 N Street Northwest. Please come out. I have some information here, but I'm sure this is not going to be enough. is going to be from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. If you have, something that you would like to see included in the budget, please come out and allow your voice to be heard. We're going to be also passing out cards so that if you can get a question in, you're also going to be able to write it down, and you can be sure that somebody's going to get back to you to make sure that we're addressing your concerns. At this point, I just want to let you know that we are going to continue engaging you, and we want to make sure that we're having some real, tangible solutions to your problems, okay? My information, I'm going to give you my email and I'm going to give you my phone number. My name is, of course, is Frank, F-R-A-N-K, period, Maduro, M-A-D-U-R-O, @dc.gov. If you have an issue, I would love to hear it, and I would love to work with you to resolve it. My phone number is 202-538-0313. Thank you so much for being here and for being engaged. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Frank. I really appreciate it, and we do hope you'll come back and visit with us on a regular basis. We'd love to have you. Does anyone have a quick question that you'd like to address to the mayor's office? Leroy?
Yeah, I think the mayor is moving in the right direction with the projects that we have in this community to include 30% affordable housing on the 8th and O project and the one at 7th and Rhode Island Avenue, those proposed two projects.
Thank you. I appreciate your sharing that with us. Okay, we're going to be moving on now, and the next presentation is comes through Commissioner Nigro, and I'm going to let her introduce.
So, a couple months ago, I went to a very interesting meeting. It was for the Open Government Advisory Committee. I invited Justin Grimes here, come on up, to just talk to us briefly about what this is. It was fantastic, and these are, from what I got, well, he'll explain, not employees, but volunteers that talk about ethical issues and open government, and it was a great meeting I attended, but I want him to come and touch upon it.
Sure. Hi, my name is Justin Grimes. I'm a new resident to the area. And last year I was appointed to a recently created board, public body called the Open Government Advisory Group. This was constructed by former Mayor Vincent Gray. It's basically part of a series of executive orders that he released right before leaving office. It was to promote transparency, open government, and open data. And as part of that, he created a board, the Open Government Advisory Group. The board consists of 15 members. 13 of those members are government employees, DC employees. 3 of those members are members of the public body, or actually not public body, members of the public, including myself. We meet infrequently. Our hearings are televised, both online and on the television, and they're open to the public. We, as part of the Open Government Advisory Group, we advise the mayor and agencies on how to strengthen transparency, accountability, and promote FOIA, Freedom of Information Act laws within the city, and the Open Meetings Act as well. We also take public comments, so please feel free to attend any of our meetings. There isn't one currently scheduled. A lot of this is due to the new mayor coming into office, and we're restructuring the committee slightly, so we're putting new appointees on there. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
Because I think when I went there, it's like a lot of the agencies that I deal with, it's like it's hard to get information. And some of it, like, for example, we talk about social media all the time. Some of them love social media, some of them don't love social media. Some of them tape their meetings, some of them don't tape their. So there wasn't, I gather your committee will kind of even keel that eventually.
Yes,
So.
I mean, and a good point. This is access to government information, so this includes transparency. So if you want to find anything about a government agency and you're having difficulties with it, of course, there's a government agency called BEGA, the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability, I believe. You can talk to them, or you can talk to this Open Government Advisory Group. I would also say that this also includes communication and engagement with the community. So if you're having difficulties engaging with an agency in DC, feel free to bring this issue to us as well, and we can discuss it.
Well, that's good to know.
Can you make sure you leave us a card with some information? before
Yes,
the
I will
meeting?
most definitely. I mean, and I will say that our, as I said, all of our hearings are televised. They're also streamed online, and our contact information is on the website. So if you Google like Open Government Advisory Group, you'll find that information. And I will leave contact information for myself, a way to get a hold of me, and a way to get a hold of members of the Open Government Advisory Group as well.
Thank you so much, because we'll publish that in our newsletter.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming. Before we have open forum and people can speak their piece about what they'd like us to be doing, we do have one more item. The Garrison Parent Teachers Association has asked us to support changes for the school, and Alex, I believe you are going to address it.
There was a representative.
Oh, okay.
So if Chris Sondriel can come forward. Commissioners will recall that last year the Commission supported a resolution in support of full funding for the modernization or replacement for Garrison Elementary School. Garrison Elementary School on the 1100 block of S Street Northwest serves a number of children in my single-member district in the area to the west of 9th Street Northwest. And while there has been funding in place for some time to begin this process, and unfortunately the Department of General Services hasn't moved very quickly on this, and with the result that Mayor Bowser now is proposing to reprogram the funds for Garrison and put the modernization off for yet another year after this school that has not been renovated in my entire lifetime, because I was born the year that this library was built. The kids in that school that have physical challenges cannot get to the principal's office, cannot get to the second floor. It's really not a very attractive situation, and as a result, parents are walking with their feet, they're voting with their feet, they're sending their kids to other schools, and we need to have a school that serves the students from a number of different wards, including Ward 2, Ward 5, Ward 6, Ward 1, at that particular location. So Chris Sondriel will give us perhaps some more details about where we are currently with the Bowser administration's proposal.
Sure. My name is Chris Sondriel. I'm a representative of the Ward 2 Education Network, which is volunteers have been nominated from 3 ANCs in Ward 2. Foggy Bottom, which is what I represent, DuPont Circle, and Logan Circle, as well as the community associations that are associated with them. We do 6 to 8 meetings a year, and we frequently engage the Seton community, Walker Jones, Cleveland, and we really consider all the schools in this community to be part of our, to be part of where all the students are going. So with regards to Garrison, at the moment, the 3 ANCs in Ward 2 also have already passed, and ANC 1B will be considering the draft resolution language in front of you, which basically requests that the mayor not reprogram the funds. There's still a window in which we can probably have the reprogram reversed. The language specifically from ANC 2A requests that the funding not be reprogrammed and that it be made available immediately. I think as Commissioner Padro pointed out, it really has been the Garrison community and school improvement team have done their due diligence and met frequently with DGS over the year, and DGS has been changing the layout of the school, where the school would go, and really hasn't given the community a chance to make a choice which will fit within the budget that's provided. And it seems like they seem to be slow walking the process. There seems to be plenty of time still this year to get it all together and get it obligated in time to fit into this fiscal year. So it seems like the reprogramming kicks it down the road another year, kicks it to maybe another generation of parents who have to fight for this. I should point out my child doesn't go to Garrison, but my neighbor's kids go to Garrison. I mean, and it's a school that really, again, as Commissioner Potter pointed out, it is one of the 4 least effective schools in terms of school layout, in terms of the quality of the facility, and what's in it in the whole city. So in terms of equity, it really is a school that needs this.
Are you, excuse me, are you asking us to take an action?
Well, I would defer to the commissioner in terms of how you operate. I don't really.
I move that Advisory Neighborhood Commission 6E send a letter to Mayor Bowser and to the Deputy Mayor for Education, and copy the council members representing wards 1, 2, 5, and 6, indicating our support for retaining the current budget for the modernization of Garrison Elementary School, and opposing the proposed reprogramming, which would defer the beginning of the process of building the new school for Garrison until fiscal 2016. And I would ask for a second.
I second.
Is there any discussion from commissioners? Any questions? Okay, hearing none.
Yeah, I got a question.
You have to wait a minute. Have to wait a minute, sir. Let us take a vote on this resolution, and so commissioners, everybody all in favor of supporting a letter that would go out to the mayor, deputy mayor, wards one, who was it, Alex? People 1, 2, 5, and 6, to prevent moving back this school in modernization. Please signify. Aye. Anybody who is opposed? No vote? Okay. Thank you so much. The resolution will be processed and has passed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And actually, if I can add, there is another meeting tomorrow evening for those of you who like ANC meetings. ANC 2F over in Logan Circle is having a meeting at 7 p.m. at the Washington Plaza, and we really hope to have Councilmember Evans there, and we'll be pushing him hard to support this as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you so very
Thank you
much for joining us this evening. Your question, sir.
Oh. I'm Miguel's, for people y'all don't know who I am, Miguel Norris. With the we moving into spring and the stuff like that, I want to ask you a question is, because I grew up in the neighborhood where as though, I know I ain't gonna call no names, but you know, that we always had like block parties and all that, and now our neighborhood is achieving financial wealth. Why has that deceased? That's all I ask you. You can answer that.
I'm
Oh, okay.
waiting till you finish.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Why did that stop?
It is, you know, things are changing in our community, and having these kinds of things are usually done by local community groups, not the governmental agency that we represent. So you should be talking after the meeting to the pastor from the 4th Street Church and the pastor from Shiloh Baptist, and ask them your
I
question.
understand that. So the block parties that he was doing that out of his own money.
Yeah,
That's deep.
I still do though.
Yeah, he still do.
Well, then you need to sit and talk to Leroy
No.
on a...
You already gave me my answer.
Okay, that's cool. Very good. Thank you so much, sir.
Good stuff.
Sorry, Leroy.
Welcome to America.
Okay, we did say that this evening we were going to take a few minutes and we were going to listen to the people in the community, and those people who wish to tell us what you'd like to see us doing that as an ANC, and how we can support you in your community and where you live. If you would like to make a statement or say something, we're going to ask you to limit yourself to 2 minutes, and we will ask people to line up at the microphone and speak their piece. So please be kind and considerate for the other folks in the room. Mr. Leroy, you may begin.
Well, first of all, let me congratulate all of you for your victory. Kevin Chappelle is not there. He's probably spending time with his mother. His mother's been sick, so keep him and his mother in your prayers. Mark, it's the first time I've ever been here. I live right down the street. My wife and daughter's in here all the time. This is my first time in here since this place has been built. I particularly came for 2 reasons. One, to congratulate you to be the chair.
Thank you.
I haven't been to a commissioner meeting in 6 years. And I came because I know that you're a fair and just person. And also to congratulate up-and-coming Commissioner Antonio Barnes, very up-and-coming, bright young man. I like to see you continue to be the person that you are in terms of getting the community together, getting information out. I think you have the personality that this commission needs in the chair position. You have a fantastic personality, and I like to see you basically keep reaching out to the community, particularly regarding development issues. The last 6 years, we've seen so-called targeted or selective folks getting information regarding development projects, and so I'd like to see you open up a line of communication, not just with some of the local leaders, but also some of the civic tenant associations and that type of thing, so we can all kind of work together. Thank you.
Leroy, I would ask you, I chair the subcommittee for zoning and development, and we meet like the last Wednesday or Thursday of the month. I would hope, I will send you an email, but I would hope that you would join us and be a part of the committee so you will know what's going
As
on.
long as it don't conflict with the blacklist.
Okay,
Join.
okay, very
Okay,
good.
all right.
Thank you so much. Sir,
you.
would you state your name, please?
Yes. Hello, my name is Maurice Wilkins. I'm actually from DC Public Schools. DC Public Schools is actually launching a new initiative where we are out in the community. So I represent wards 5 and 6 specifically. I'm also a Ward 6 resident and a graduate of Dunbar Senior High School. More specifically, I'm in the Office of Public and Community and Family and Public Engagement, excuse me. And we're really trying to, one, get our face in the community, make sure that we are addressing issues that anyone may have, specifically for me, for wards 5 and 6. So I'll be here for a few minutes taking any questions or concerns. And we're launching a campaign called Everyone Everywhere. It's an opportunity for people in the community to be able to engage in the public engagement process, specifically around hosting budget meetings that kind of address where your concerns are, specifically around what you would like to see some of the capital campaign money go towards. So once again, my name is Maurice Wilkins, and I'm representing wards 5 and 6. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm from DC Public Schools.
Ma'am?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nadia Johnson. I'm the president of the Heritage at Shaw Tennis Association, which is that property across the street from the library. And I have a few concerns. Is one, we have in our neighborhood experienced a lot of violent crimes lately, and I wanted to know what is the plan to curtail the crime wave that we've been experiencing of, I would say, the past 5, maybe 6 years. Also, too, what is the plan to keep the public housing that is currently in our neighborhood here and expanding upon it? And 3, how do they also plan to curtail the unemployment rate and also improve the educational rate for adult literacy and adult education for a lot of the young people? And I just wanted to know those 4 questions, but yeah.
Alex Padre will address some of the issues.
Thank you for coming out tonight, Nadia. It's great to see the Tennis Association represented here at our meetings. So firstly, we have been actively engaging with the Metropolitan Police Department on, the ebbing and flowing crime situation affecting the blocks where Heritage Shaw Station is located. And we are trying to coordinate a meeting with Deputy Chief, Assistant Chief Grooms, who knows this area very well because she used to be a 3D lieutenant that had responsibility in this area, so that we can try to coordinate all the different agencies that are responsible for public safety, including the Metro Police, because they play a role because of the location of the station at 8th and R. The private security that is hired by Heritage at Shaw Station, and also to coordinate with the security for Lincoln Westmoreland 1, which is under, some people may not realize that the complex are under separate ownership and management.
Yeah.
So, and we also will be engaging the Tenants Association to make sure that you or another representative can be at those meetings as well. So that's first. You had a question about public housing. There is no public housing in this neighborhood. We have subsidized housing. Public housing means, you know, owned and operated by the government. And while there are scattered sites, there are individual row houses that are under the purview of the DC Housing Authority. You know, we don't have any apartment complexes that are under the category of public housing. Most of the housing that is subsidized in the neighborhood has long-term Section 8 contracts on them, so there is no risk that any of those units will be lost anytime in the near future. Obviously, there are some complexes like Heritage that have opted out of their contracts, so the residents that are income qualified that were able to remain in the complex are using vouchers to be able to remain in place. But the interesting thing is that as some of these public parcels are developed, for example, parcel 42, which some folks may not realize, that parcel at 7th and R Streets, that has been RFP'd 3 times by the city, and most recently was awarded to 10 Square and the Chapman Group to redevelop, has now had that assignment of those development rights withdrawn by the new deputy mayor's office, and we're going to start that one all over again. This is going to be the 4th time out. Maybe the 4th time will be the charm. But the exciting thing about that is that as a result, there was legislation that was approved in December that requires that 30%, 30, of the housing units that are created on public land be affordable. Now, of course, we still have the issue of how do you define affordable? You know, are you talking about what percentage of area median income? So that's something that my understanding from a conversation that I had yesterday with Deputy Mayor Kenner is going to have more community involvement than has been in the past. The desire on his part is that as the RFPs are developed, that there be more coordination with the community, more input from the community, so we don't have situations where developers end up coming up with projects that don't meet the community's needs and desires and end up getting selected as the developer for these parcels. And your third question related to providing a variety of different kinds of services to try to achieve a higher level of employment. Those are issues that we're going to try to see what kind of best practices our Department of Employment Services is able to come up with from other parts of the country. I also spoke with the new director of DOES yesterday and gave her the example of the Clean and Safe team that we operate here in the neighborhood, where almost exclusively ex-offenders are hired and trained and paid a living wage and benefits to be able to transition from incarceration to gainful employment and ultimately to other private sector employment. I mean, that's one example that I gave her, and she seemed very interested in trying to explore that further. So, we've got a new administration. I think the administration is very open to new ideas, and to the extent that you and your colleagues at Heritage at Shaw Station may have some ideas, I think they would be very receptive, and I would be happy to be a conduit to get that information to them.
Oh, you forgot about the education part. I would like adult education for like GED programs, literacy programs. I think somebody touched on it earlier about the literacy. I think we should about adult literacy. So are there any other ideas about how they plan to bring more adult programs in this area?
Well, the thing that I think I'm the most excited about related to that is that eventually we're going to have a new Shaw Middle School in the neighborhood. and what we've been looking to have for a long time, and I'm sorry that Ibrahim Mukman isn't here tonight because he's been an advocate for this for a very long time, is that just as the old Shaw Junior High School incorporated a lot of adult education and other services for the community, we want that new school to also incorporate adult education.
And when will the new Shaw be up?
It's supposed to begin construction in 2018 and be completed in 2019. That's, of course, if they don't move the budget around again.
One of
but
the
that's the
other
goal.
things, ma'am, that you could also do, there was a gentleman here from Department of Parks and Recs earlier. You might want to stop during the day and see him, because they have an empty classroom, and they certainly could begin some sort of classes that would be relevant to what you're asking for this community. I'm happy to support that and help you, you know, if you want me to go with you to meet with someone.
Sure.
I'm happy to do that with you. I'm sure Alex would be as well, and as it's his neighborhood too. So we don't have to wait till 2018 for construction.
Right.
I mean, that's a long ways off. We need to get something going.
Right, because one thing I have learned as being president of the Tennis Association is that a lot of people, they do have problems with literacy. And I was trying to get the community center back and start incorporating a lot of those programs that will help a lot of those people to be able to become gainfully employed. So that's why I was asking, because I thought that would be such a great help for them.
Also be looking for your newsletter each month, because this past newsletter that we did, the new one, we had some information on job fair in the newsletter, so we're trying to get them out earlier so that we can get them to the people who need the information, and then can get to these job fairs, and, you know, fingers crossed they can get employment.
Yeah, okay, I have a business card, I'll just give it to you. Mr. Prado already had my name.
Okay, great, thank you. Anyone else who'd like to make any kind of open forum statement to us? Okay, great. We'll try to incorporate open forum, maybe every couple of months, so people can, you know, let us know you're doing a good job, or, you know, kind of a report card thing. You can tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you think we need to be doing, and this way we'll be able to keep really in touch with the community. Sir, did you want to speak?
Yeah, I just want to,
Nice and loud. You want to go to the mic?
well, I can. Excuse me. I'm in the community, I'm new in the community, Gibson, United North Square. But I just want to say to the board, I know you voted on concerning the letter to the mayor. I just want to say that give the mayor a fair chance. I understand that you know, the transformation of the budget and how you feel, but if she, you know, to what I understood, it's a new school. Was that Garrison or something, a new school?
It's not a new school, it's been
yeah,
open.